Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys are all staying safe. Hope you guys are all staying healthy, and hoping that you are continuing to keep fitness as a part of your daily routine, and not only not only for yourself and to keep your sanity and to keep your health up, but also to be that shining light and to show your clients how it's done, and that you guys continue to walk the walk. Very, very important as coaches that we continue to prioritize fitness in our daily routines and our daily lives. Today, I just wanted to hit on body weight exercises and how we can use these to build a really good base for when our clients get back into the gym, or if our clients decide to continue to train at home and you just continue to coach them with the resources that they had and acquired during this time. But I do want to talk about body weight training and how we can use it to our advantage, pretty much. So outside of just making us better coaches, when we take our tools away and we only have our bodies and our clients' bodies to program off of, and we don't have all of these fancy machines and all of that, I truly believe that a lot of you guys are going to come out of this just better coaches with more tools in your toolbox. But taking advantage of this time and actually making your clients better right now, some recommendations. So if you guys are in CCP right now, or if you're familiar with how we teach movement as far as contractions, you understand that we start with motor control, then we go to strength endurance, and then we go to max contractions. So right now we're gonna sit more in the motor control and maybe the strength endurance pieces as we're just working with our body weights and our clients' body weights. So let's get really good at building great motor control, and let's look at not just the push-up and the squat and running 400-meter laps around the block. Let's think about this as building great motor control in every single pattern. So I'm just gonna walk through the pattern. So let's think about the push. There's not only the horizontal push and using the FLR and the push-up to build great motor control, but there's also the vertical push, right? So it's like using our own body weights. How can we push something vertically? We just get inverted, right? So it's like we don't always have to look at getting our clients really good at handstand push-ups, but we can get our clients good at just holding their own body weights in an inverted position. So think about adding wall walks, think about adding wall kick-ups, isometric holds with the scaps packed and the shoulders and the humerus fully extended, and getting our clients really, really good at that. That's building a great vertical push base. So if and when your clients get back into the gym and they start throwing that barbell back overhead, or they're throwing the dumbbell back overhead, they have a really good base, right? So we have push. The pull pattern, that's always such a tough one when we talk about body weight exercises and how we can implement that. But just think about the pull pattern just being anything where the scapulas retract, right? So we don't actually have to actively pull something. So think about a hand release push-up, and when we release those hands and we retract the scapula, that's actually a pull exercise or a pull pattern, right? So we can think about that. We can think about the pull in isometrics. So we can think about a reverse plank, a reverse tabletop plank, and get really good at holding that scapular retraction position for our clients and getting them in a very good postural position. And then we can go and we can get a little bit creative and do table rows and isometric holds and chin over tree branch holds, or whatever we want to do, right? But don't think about it just as a vertical pull, right? Think about a pull being anything where the scapulas retract. So get really creative with that. Then when we have the bend position, right? So now the bend is another one, just like the pull, where it's tough to really, really get a great response in the bend pattern without external load, but we can still do it. So think about things like, let's say our clients exhibit a poor toe touch, right? Let's just do movements where we're coordinating flexion at the hip while we're keeping the knees stiff, and we're just going down and touching the toes. And let's do that with external load, and let's limit range of motion until our clients get down there. Or if it's not a movement quality issue and you just want to improve global movement for your client in the bend position, think about single leg reaches, Think about odd object RDLs. Think about backpack RDLs, stuff like that. But just relative to body weight, let's think about hip thrusts. Let's think about single leg glute bridges. Let's think about really firing that posterior chain and getting really good in isometrics, and then starting to get to more dynamic type movement, or going through full ranges of eccentric, isometric, concentric, isometric, so on and so forth movements. Now, when we look at something like the lunge, that's something that's really easy for a lot of you guys, and you understand how to program that very effectively with just body weight. So think about the lunge pattern not just being active lunging, but just being in that split stance position. So that's what we would classify as a lunge position. Now, when we look at something like the core, right, that's another one that's very, very not easy, but a lot of coaches understand how to program core exercises using just clients' body weight. Just think about having really good isometric, being really good in the isometric area with your clients, and then moving into the dynamics like we talked about with the lunge. And I just wanted to kind of walk through a few patterns and give you guys some ideas of how we can really build on these things. And now when you think about how we progress our clients, because we don't know how much longer we're going to be in this thing, and we don't ever want to throw a bunch of exercises at the wall without an idea inside of our brains or on paper or in TrueCoach, and how we're going to progress those. So just think about the progressive mechanism and which one of those things you're going to use to get your client better, right? So are you going to give them more volume, right? So it's like, are you going to do 10 reps this week at a 3-0-1-1 tempo, and then you're going to do 12 next week, and then you're going to do 14, and so on and so forth? Is that how you're going to progress them? I'm not saying that that's the best way to do it, but that's just one option, and you need to think about that. Or are you going to make the movement a little more complex, right? So are you doing an FLR this week, and then you're doing a push-up next week, and then you're doing a single arm push-up the following week? Is that how you're going to progress that? Are you going to make the movement faster? So are you going from a 3-0 to a 2-0 to a 1-0 to just go, and we're going to make this movement extremely dynamic? So think about the progressive mechanism and how you're going to progress your clients. So those are just a couple ideas. And like I said at the top of the video, I think we're going to come out of this thing really, really good relative strength program designers if we're not already there. And every time I have a conversation with a coach and they talk about, you know, how this is just such a tough time and creativity is lacking and stuff like that, I keep bringing them back to, hey, remember when you learned how to progress someone in the back squat? It was the same idea. You just have to do it. You have to understand what works. You have to understand what doesn't work. And you have to understand what each one of your clients needs specifically. But we're looking at this thing through a lens of all of our experiences with past clients. So right now, we're building a lot of really, really good experience in relative strength or body weight program design. Hope that helps, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to add.